I will try to show you the culture through the eyes of a local representative. I myself am a mayor in a small municipality in Romania, and actually the youngest mayor of Romania, although I'm at the second mandate, so I'm a mayor for 8 years, at merely 30 years old. But I'm here as the president of the Commission of Education, Culture, Youth and Research from the Committee of the Regions. And I had the opportunity of meeting the representatives of Valencia region back in Brussels last year at one of our commission meetings. And we discussed about the digital divide. And I'm very glad to be here in Valencia, a model of innovation and preservation of culture. I think it's the right place to have this conference and discuss the different aspects of culture and its future in Europe. Your productive project, Sostenuto, is to be completed in April this year. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to take stock of its past and disseminate the outcomes. At the same time, I would say that in the field of culture and of course of media, we should also look into the future, as the new post-2013 framework program, Creative Europe, is being discussed in Brussels and not only, but I would like to say something about that later on. Firstly, I would like to say something about the Committee of the Regions and to give you some insight about the functioning of the committee and into its positions on cultural aspects. Secondly, I would like to look into some defining features of culture seen as a key component to social and economic innovation and the role of local and regional authorities in this area. And I'm sure that Valencia, a very useful expression of culture in itself, will substantially help me in this endeavor. I believe that it is this valuable feature of Valencia, a city that knew how to keep its traditional culture while modernizing and reinventing itself continuously, that should define the way forward in terms of culture, development and enrichment. And thirdly, I would like to conclude with some thoughts about the future challenges, but also the new opportunities that the culture faces. So I will start with some words about the Committee of the Regions. Many of you may know, but probably many of you may not know, that the Committee of the Regions was established as a European institution through the Maastricht Treaty back in 1994 as a consultative body to provide representatives of local and regional government with a voice at the heart of the European Union. The European Commission, the European Council, the European Parliament are obliged to consult the Committee of the Regions on proposed EU laws across a wide range of policy areas, including education, culture, and information society. In fact, about 70% of the European legislation is implemented on the local and regional level, depending on the governance structure in every member state. So it is the Committee of the Regions that gives this level a say over the drafting of the legislation. It also helps, of course, bringing Europe closer to the citizens and encourages a culture of subsidiarity in order to ensure that the decisions are taken at the closest possible level to the citizen. Many of the aspects linked to the role of culture for social and economic development made the object of the committee's opinions in recent past. I will illustrate them with some examples that I hope would enrich your debate in the days to come. It was rightly pointed out before that the current crisis is forcing Europe to redefine the traditional elements of competitiveness and reformulate its sustainable development model. This was very well understood at the Committee of the Regions, and just fairly recent, our President stated that it is high time for us to show political responsibility and to rethink our European model in both political and economic terms, and also in cultural terms. So I think that we should not be afraid of responding to challenges in a specifically European way, rather than trying to copy models from other parts of the world. In our view, this European way is based on the richness of our geographical and cultural diversity, on multi-level partnership born out of our long history of democracy, on a better balance between the market and the public goods, and on a dynamic between competition and cooperation. At a time when the available resources are limited, policymakers feel I feel the need to find new solutions and develop innovative public service models. Choosing for innovation, including social innovation through culture, it may sound obvious, but it does require a serious European mentality shift. For 15 years, we have been told that the well-being of European citizens was dependent on their being turned into customers thanks to public sectors, privatization and liberalization. The crisis has at least succeeded in opening our eyes to the emptiness of such approach or reasoning. Results of recent Eurobarometers on consumption behaviors shed light on it. Moreover, for too long, innovation was associated with high-tech projects and costly investments in research centers. Well, it's not actually just like that. Innovation in culture can also produce an important change in the social and economical life of the society. At the Committee of the Regions, we recognize the importance of balancing technological, social, and public sector innovation. It is particularly important to promote societal innovations by combining different parts, different sectors of innovation activity. For example, linking the development of technology, the art and design, culture and heritage, and services. In the post-crisis economy, culture can play a role in creatively meeting social policy objectives by fostering innovation as a way to achieve social outcomes. In fact, culture is a European growing industry. The European Competitiveness Report in 2010 states that the cultural and creative industries account for 3% of total employment and give more than 3.3% of the GDP. And that between 2000 and 2007, employment in the sector grew on average much more rapidly than in the EU economy as a whole. Local and regional authorities play a key role in developing and fostering culture in their respective areas, not least in protecting the cultural heritage and promoting artistic innovation. At the same time, they support and assist not only cultural institutions and initiatives, but they also ensure education and training, as well as organizing festivals and cultural events. For their part, local and regional authorities have successfully integrated culture and creative industries into their own development strategies, and this has contributed to boosting local economies. Our local authorities are at the forefront of social innovation, not at least because we finance public infrastructure and services, but it is our role to promote an effective access to social, economic, education, and cultural services for people living in poverty or social exclusion. In highlighting the essential contribution of culture, especially the cultural and creative industries in implementing the Europe 2020 strategy, the committee insisted on a bold, innovative approach. What is that in particular? In this period of economic crisis, it is a place for cultural and creative industries to generate multidisciplinary and multicultural solutions. And for this to happen, Europe needs to be open-minded, needs to have pioneering players at local and regional level to create social innovations, and the global businesses activity they help to engender. In fact, creativity is locally rooted, and therefore, in order to develop cultural and creative industries, we need local networking, local clustering, business incubators, for example, and of course partnerships between art and services, science and industrial institutes, and of course universities. At the same time, these industries strongly contribute to local and regional development by making European regions more attractive, developing sustainable tourism, and creating new employment opportunities. They play a key role in fostering a competitive and innovative market economy in Europe. In particular, it is possible at the local and regional level to set up networks and databases of young artists, for example, promote the training of young people in artistic and cultural disciplines, and help young artists to become professional. They could stimulate multimedia and multicultural experimentation, make public spaces available for the work of young artists. The local authorities could encourage the artistic and cultural appreciation of the young audience, support young people in forming associations in the artistic and cultural domain, and foster innovation in local traditions and vocations. At the same time, cultural activities can help to foster social cohesion. That's another aspect of culture. The social cohesion and the inclusion by developing intercultural undertaking and building strong and positive relationships between people from different backgrounds. Because culture is not only about economical development, as Mrs. Lalumière said here, but it also contributes to social development as well as heritage and identity. Therefore, we at the Committee of the Regions believe that Europe's strength lies in its diversity. Respect for cultural, linguistic, ethnic and religious diversity is one of the basic principles underlying the process of European integration. The Committee of the Regions is also actively involved in an important program at the EU level. And you all may know about the European Capital of Culture, as well as in the launching of the European Heritage Label. These two European projects, I think, have the most impact on the citizens and on the cultural level at the local and regional level of governance. We need appropriate tools to promote to the full Europe's cultural richness and diversity and achieve the strategic objectives of prosperity, solidarity and security both inside and outside the European Union. Culture has an important role to play in the relations between member states and their regions, but also for their neighboring non-EU countries. Intercultural exchange should become the cornerstone of dialogue with candidate countries and part of Union's neighborhood policy. In cross-border regions, in particular, the quality and scale of cultural cooperation is a crucial element in the European integration process, as it faces global challenges right now. The European Union should support and encourage the mobility of young artists in Europe, the creation of international networks, and groupings of artists and exchanges and creative residencies for young artists at EU and third country level. The Committee of the Regions also shares the need to foster dialogue between religious communities and associations. Well, at the end, I would like to conclude by thanking again the to the organizers of this event, very relevant and very timely, I would say. And I would like to finish with a quote from a co-national of Mrs. Lalumière, Jean Monnet, who is believed to have said that if Europe were to be reconstructed, I would begin with culture rather than with economy. So that's the importance of culture, and I think nowadays it is more and more recognized even at the EU level. Thank you very much for your attention. Gracias por la atención y les deseo que tiene unos días con mucho suceso.